So today, I'm going to be taking a look at the final issue of Dynamite's Darkwing Duck comic. It's been a long road, but we're finally at the end. So we'll see if this comic ends with a whimper or a bang, or if there's a third option. As usual, it's written by Amanda Dibert, it's art by Carlo Loro, and the main cover being done by Leslie Lee. In this issue, and the issue that I own's cover is being done by Leslie Lee. So we pick up right where the previous comic left off, on their way to find out who kidnapped Launchpad. They reunite with Neptunia, there's some comedic shenanigans, and a battle with the shark. Running with a sophisticated giant squid, where Stegman does pretty much the only thing of value that he's done in this entire run. We get to see her Buttlefoot being a little bit useful, and Morgana showing just how competent and powerful she is, before we finally arrive to Ducklantis, where the Justice Ducks finally discover who's behind everything. And it turns out the culprit is a character named Murdoch, where the final battle begins to stop him and rescue Launchpad. All I can say is that this comic pretty much is a perfect representation of this entire Dynamite Darkwing series. For every step forward it takes, it'll take at least 2 or 3 steps back. Issues are needlessly padded out with extended action sequences when they could have been used for character development or just to flesh out the story. Having too many characters and not having enough for them to do. Having characters drop in and then drop out of the story. The main villain of this entire arc isn't properly introduced until the last couple of pages of the storyline, with a completely rushed and unsatisfactory finale, which is supposed to get you excited for the Justice Duck series that's replacing this. Murdoch, the main villain, his design is very uninspired and bland and boring. His motivation to be a villain is completely idiotic, and he has no threat to pretty much anybody. I know he's supposed to be a joke villain, but he's not funny. And the fact that the whole Justice Ducks had to come together to fight him, which they don't technically even really do, because Darkwing pretty much one-hit KOs him. And while he's doing that, the Justice Ducks go off and rescue Launchpad, where most of the characters' dialogue is very generic and isn't very character-specific. Goslin only says half of her catchphrase. And we're how many issues in? This should have been a 2-issue story at max. There was not enough meat for this to be a 4-issue story. And that's one of the main problems when you write for the trade. You have to pad stuff out in order to get to 4 or 6 issues. Having read this, I am not surprised that Amanda Dibert is not coming back for Justice Ducks. The story was padded out and incoherent and not very exciting, and not very Darkwing Duck. This is some of the worst Darkwing we've had, just through pure incoherentness. This whole run has been plagued with incoherent stories that are padded out with a lot of generic, not character-specific dialogue. That makes you question even this is probably one of the worst of the Darkwing runs, or if she just went on YouTube and watched some compilations. I typically don't like being this mean, but this has been a long time coming. This is pretty bad. I will give credit to Carlo Loro. His art has vastly improved over where it started. This ending retroactively makes the entire run worse. We're pretty close to Dangerous Currency or Boom's DuckTales level of bad. Also has to be laid on at the feet of Nate Crosby, the editor, due to how incoherent and poorly written this series has been. He needed to have stepped in much earlier to right the ship. But also, yeah, Amanda Dibert gets a lot of that blame, but some also has to be given to Nate Crosby, the editor. All in all, this Darkwing series ends with a faceplant, which retroactively makes everything that came before it worse, and one of the worst runs of a Disney Afternoon comic. I'm not looking forward to the trades, and I'm very skeptical about Justice Ducks. Negaduck is so far the one bright spot, but we'll see if they can keep up the quality. Yeah, do not recommend at all. Till next time, see ya.